has a person actually paid a $300 fine because they let their dog pee on the sidewalk. We believe that this is actually impractical to use a policeman in everyday lives. Ladies and gentlemen, as the last speaker of the proposition side, I would like to give 3 clashes to today's debate to prove that the opposition side has given impractical and undermined the genius of the human brain. First of all, I like the 3 clashes are first the expense and effect of these CCTVs. Second of all, the human psychology, and third, the classical debate between machines versus human. I'd like to start off with our first clash, which is about expense and effect. We, the proposition side, strongly contended, we strongly stated that the CCTVs are less expensive in a long term, and are effective in many ways. The opposition has rebutted this argument by saying that, explaining an example of London, and saying that they have the most CCTVs and only 3% of crimes have been caught. However, we would like to state, ladies and gentlemen, that this is actually a biased piece of information. We would like to also state that London is one of the cities that have the lowest crime rate in the first place. And we would like to state that this is actually biased since 20% of the crime rates have been lowered due to the use of CCTVs, which actually counterattacks the evidence given by the opposition side. We have also mentioned that the insurance, the police officers' fees, etc., have cost much in a long-term run rather than CCTVs. We have also given examples of the effects that these crime cameras, actually catches in action. I'd like to move on to our second clash, which is about the psychology of humans. The opposition side has mentioned that human psychology is not important in this issue, as specifically the second speaker has mentioned. But we would like to state that human psychology is an important factor in the democracy of society. How can people always live by feeling caution and always live feeling unsafe? We believe that CCTVs actually take away these worries of the people because they see these cameras everywhere around the country, around the city. They have mentioned that this is not true because people are actually feeling even more safe with patrols going around. But are these patrols there every day? Are these patrols there in night, in the day, and every time the same person? We believe that these people will feel more safe if these people if they see logical evidence that something is actually there and someone is actually looking towards that camera. I'd like to move on to our last clash, which is about machine versus human. We have mentioned that the the cameras, are actually more effective and actually more precise than the actual human mind of people. We believe that the opposition side has undermined the ability that these cameras pertain. They have mentioned the example of speed limits, and nobody catches them speeding in the use of speed cameras. However, we like to state that there are speed systems where 2 linked cameras are used to measure the distance of time in order to catch these people speeding, making an irrelevance in their example. We would like to also state that 270 degrees are shown in the bottom line of these CCTVs and actually are located in a corner, in which we believe that it is impractical to say that someone will commit murder under a corner of a building where a CCTV is right above. We also like to state that these machines are actually precise, and when the opposition side has mentioned about the nine standing corners of the turning around of the CCTVs, we like to state that they're recorded, and if the crime is actually called upon in the law and in court, we believe that the people and the witnesses can use this information recorded rather than actually maintaining them every time when in the supercomputer. They have also mentioned that the CCTVs are hardly used in testimonies. But we like to state, in the court itself, when a witness is testimony, they call upon evidence when it is needed, not just in a first run. It is after sufficient evidence is needed when they call upon CCTVs, so which we believe is a biased example as well. So what are we showing you today, ladies and gentlemen?